All right. While outlaws have beards, I didn't shave. Just so you know, I could go there if I need to. But anyway, we'll get past that part. This is HANK3 trying to give you a few words on the new Devil Driver project. Outlaws till the end. So let's get this thing going. So, asking me if I recall the first time being or hearing outlaw country music. And for me, that's kind of a hard question, because I consider my granddad being part of the outlaw movement, Hank Williams Sr., with his sound. If you look at Move It On Over in 1947, that falls in there with one of the, first rock songs out of the 10 other people that would be considered the first rock and roll song. So you have a lot of different people. If you look at some of the guys like Good Rockin' Tonight from Wayne Harris, that's 1948, but totally different structures. Or Rock This Joint from Jimmy Preston, that had a different structure. Or Arthur Smith with the guitar boogie in 48. It's a little different. Now, Rock Around the Clock came out, was written by two guys, 52, 53, and then you have a lot of debate over the first rock song being created in the mid-50s. Bill Haley in his comments definitely had a big following, and it had a good push, but there's a lot of other people that would be considered the first rock song. And then you have to factor in all the blues artists, the African American influence, the gospel influence, and a lot of the just the vocal bands, no instruments at all. So there's a lot of things. But getting back to what I was talking about, my mom had a record collection that was pretty decent, and they got divorced when I was like 4 or 6. And through that time, records were still kind of coming in, so I already had all the legends of Merle Haggard, David Allan Coe, Johnny Paycheck, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Mickey Gilley, Charlie Daniels, on and on and on and on. Now, at that time, some of those guys might not have been considered outlaws yet, which could factor into a lot of different things. One could be the producers at the time wouldn't listen to what the artist had to say on the record, or the label just wanted a certain sound, a certain way, and a certain look, and that's that. So a lot of folks might say the outlaw movement kind of got more created in the mid-70s, and is that because...
Test! Test! This thing on! Test! Later, you gonna get it right this time, son? My patience is wearing thin, boy. Let's go. I'm Mount Henson. I'm the king. Take 59. You're all in. Let's get one thing straight betwixt us now. Cut! Won't you straighten up, boy? I pay cash money for you to pick me every night. You're supposed to be a Nashville super picker. You ain't doing nothing for me, son, except dragging me down. I'm known Henson. I'm the king. Take 60. You're rolling.
Some artists, musicians were able to write their own songs, have a little bit of their own say, and have some producers that would kind of work 50-50 on a record with them. So you have to factor that in, and the crowd base changing a little bit. And that's where all the scraggly, long hair, beard looks start coming in as well. So there's a lot of things when you're talking about the outlaw movement. But for me, there was never really a defining moment where I was like, that's outlaw country as a kid. I do remember going out on the road for my first time. I think I might have been 6, maybe younger. There's a picture of me, Hank Jr., Willie Nelson, and some other people. And then around 8 to 11, a couple times a year, I would get to go out on the road. And I definitely remember the fans being around Waylon and Hank Jr., being around Willie and Hank Jr., or Leonard Skinner and Hank Jr., and seeing all the different crowds back then and how rowdy some of those crowds were. You have to keep those things in mind where people can kind of show up, have a place to hang out for a while, do what they do, and not really have that much trouble when bands would come through town. Every place is a little different, but you have to keep that kind of openness in mind as well. But seeing it, I definitely remember seeing it as a kid. Those were some defining moments for me. And then the first time I played drums on stage, I was 10 years old. And then in a couple of years, I got to, with Hank Jr. Then in a couple of years, I got to play drums for Hank Jr. and Leonard Skinner at the same time. So for me, that was a huge deal. So that's a little bit on that question. How does some of the realness of country music compare to the realness of metal songs?
Emotions versus no emotion. A whole other topic within itself.
Well, that can be a tough one also, because it depends what kind of picture the artist is trying to paint or who's listening to it. But there's a lot of similarities in some parts of country and metal as far as you want to talk about loss or pain or suffering or hate. Sometimes the murder topic will come up in both genres.
I ain't the one that done it. You got the wrong damn man. Later, you gonna get it right this time, son? My patience is wearing thin, boy. Cut! Stop that damn tape! Tater! You work 2 jobs, I drink all day. I like it that way. I'm the king, the one and only king of this house. Cut! Stop that damn tape! I like it that way. I'm the king, the one and only king. Tater! Cut! I like it that way. I'm the king, the one and only king of this house. Stop that damn tape! I like it that way. I'm the king. Tater! The one and only king of this house. Stop it! Stop it! All right, Tater, that's it, boy.
Like, oh my God, the darkest of Daddy's is like here.
God, Satan, whatever. Those are some things that could be the same. But if I was to pick up a guitar and let's say I was going to do something like that's a pentagram song, but it has that same kind of feeling to it. It has some emotions to it. Bobby's talking about relationship problems, or dating it, and both of those country and metal genres can have that same topic. Now, if I was going to pick up a guitar and try to sing a malevolent creation song, or an obituary song, or Cannibal Corpse, Dark Throne, all those kind of bands, it might be a little different because you're going to be having a lot more raw words, a lot more offending words, possibly. But with the way things are nowadays, I mean, just the word offending can be offensive. So who knows? Now, some of those guys are being real.
With 100 miles an hour, he went over a cliff and just cracked up. His best friend died. He got hurt. He was laid up for months, and you know that slowed him down. That's what slowed Carl Perkins' career down. The same kind of deal.
A rockabilly hero, cult favorite, or an alcoholic pest.
And I wanna tell you, baby, honey, don't you know I love you? Yeah, yes, I love you, you show.
Okay, I've dealt with Hassel off and on for probably the last 12 years. I've arrested him for discharging firearms from a vehicle at road signs. I've been to his home several times for supposedly holding his girlfriend hostage, when in fact she was a willing participant, but she would just want us to get her out of there and take her home to her family just to ride.
Well, I'm gonna put your head on my wall just like I told you, baby. You can't stop. We sit down a whole boogie, make it boogie boogie everywhere.
I was interested in Hassel because he seemed very pleasant and really bizarre.
No more, eat no more hot dogs. I'm gonna put your head, I put it on my wall.
People talk about my songs like they're bad and everything, like to do the split. I mean, well, to name them, just show me your split. That's new ones. Well, you'll hear them sooner or later. But and like shake that thing, hunch that thing. Let me take a picture of that thing. Look, I want an 8 by 10 of that thing. If you get a bigger one, send it to me. But anyway, what I aim to say, but shake that thing could be anything. You could be shaking your hand, shaking your foot, or, well, you could be doing this, rocking the baby to sleep. So it can be anything, which way you want to take it. If you got a bad mind, you want to hunch or something like that, I can't help it.
And then again, some of them might not have necessarily, done that, but they're singing about that. And they put just as much emotion into it as if they've done it.
How would you like to be remembered?
As an honest man, as an honourable man. But that's out of the question.
But they never have. So that's a hard thing to kind of address in its own way. And then you have to deal with, well, what's real? And nothing is real. You got all that kind of thing happening. But there is some connections there between the genres. What was my reaction when Daz asked me to participate in putting the metal and the country together? And I redid one of my own songs, Country Heroes, is one that Devil Driver did, and talk about how I reacted on hearing the final mix. Well, I haven't got to hear the final mix yet. When Dez first approached me, I was like a little anxious because the way things are right now, things are not how they should be for me to make records. So that was the main thing I was concerned about, making sure that Devil Driver and the producer Steve was gonna be happy with what I was sending in. And I let him know that and told him I'll do the best that I can, and just let me know if Steve is comfortable with the sounds and that the band likes it as well. So on working on my end vocally for the song Country Heroes, once I started getting into it, it progressed, and I would say that I was influenced from maybe 3 or 4 different kind of rock or metal singers in the way that I approached the song. I haven't heard the record, but I assumed there would be a lot more screaming on the record opposed to some of the cleaner singing that can happen in parts of metal music. So that was going to be my approach to it, to maybe be a little different and have some diversity on the record. So we'll see. I don't know what tracks they picked. I sent them a lot of tracks, a lot of different sounds, and when Dez reached back out to me, he was just saying, whoa dude, that's some, I've never heard that side of you before. So hopefully that's a good thing, and I'm gonna wait till it comes out to officially, hear the record and the final mix. So I can't really say anything about the final mix. Okay, this isn't a country record, but traditional outlaw country songs are redone with a heavy metal aggressive treatment. How would a typical country fan react to these songs in this way? It's hard to say. Country fans nowadays are all over the place. Some would say country music is no longer country music. So if you want to say what a traditional hardcore true country fan, how he might react or she might react to it. Some might be,
Any damn idiot can make that racket. There ain't nothing to that mess. See? I told you they won't nothing to that mess. I don't play no rock. No. Rock is straight out of hell. Country and western is my mission in life, baby. Ain't a damn thing to it. Listen, it takes talent to play country western. It don't take no damn talent to play that mess. I mean, a damn 15-year-old punk can do it.
That's interesting, but it's not my thing. Or some would be, only this kind of music is a good thing, and anything else, music-wise, is a bad thing. So you never know. But as far as in general, I have a lot of friends that love country music, that love heavy metal, that love jazz, that love blues, and all kinds of different things. And you might have that bull rider in Texas that's wanting to get amped up before he might die on riding a bull within 10 seconds, and before he gets on that bull, he wants to put that song on to get him in the mood. So there's a lot of different folks out there. I know I've had experiences on playing some clubs earlier in my career where I would do 2 hours of country and fulfill my contract, and then I would have some fans that would say, hey, we came here to hear the other stuff you do, and I would do that, and then before you know it, I have a bar owner screaming in my face, basically almost pulling a gun on us and throwing our gear out the door, on and on, saying that I disrespected his club by playing that kind of music. And I was like, well, if this is a so-called country bar and it's so traditional, why do you have rap playing in your country bar? So what's the difference? And this is, early 90s. So, rap wasn't really as big as it has been. So there's a lot of different things to factor in on how people will react. Since Devil Driver, I'm assuming, is sounding like Devil Driver on the record throughout the whole record, I don't think his fans or that metal audience will freak out on him that much. So it's kind of always been there. I've worked with David Allan Coe and Dimebag Darrell from Pantera when I was going through Texas as well, playing a show, and look over and there's Dimebag, there's Vinny, and there's DAC. And after the show of doing country and then doing metal, they ask, well, come on out to the house, man, and let's lay down a track. We're putting a record out, David and Dimebag are. So by the time I get there, the voice is already gone. It's like 2:33 in the morning. I wish the scream was a little more intact for that session, but like I said, the voice was already blown that night for that take. But it was the moment, and it's the concept on what we're talking about. And then the one other time is working with the Melvins, but the Melvins approached it a little bit more like, okay, they're trying to do the TikTok blues, trying to sound like a country band on one of their albums. So when Dez asked me about it, I was definitely wondering how the song would sound, and when I heard it, I was very pumped. It reminded me of a few different things, and you got to keep in mind, I was at the very first Devil Driver show that Dez ever played, so I've watched and heard the band go through a lot of different heavy sounds through the years. So seeing and hearing where Devil Driver is nowadays is definitely, it's awesome sounding. I was pumped to do it, and I hope it wasn't too hard for Steve to get what he needed with the situation on recording on my end that's going on right now. Alright, who are the original outlaw country music artists who make it outlaw country music? Well, I mean, I don't even really want to go there, because there's so many different rebels or outlaws or influences in it. It's kind of hard to say, but we all know who the standards are and who you would think of when those names, outlaw country, when it is brought up. So, and most of them have beards. Nothing against beards, but I can't officially have one because Bo Cephas has the beard and the glasses down to a T. So that's my thing. But in time, alright, how are metal fans gonna react? Do you think they will do some research and go back and listen to the original songs? Well, that can be interesting within itself, because a lot of songs that people might have thought that, oh, Willie wrote that song. Oh, Waylon Jennings wrote that song. Johnny Cash wrote that song. Merle Haggard wrote that song. Chris Christopherson wrote that song. Or Billy Joe Shaver wrote that song. Well, most of the time, they didn't write some of their biggest hits. Not all the time, but most of the time. And that goes back to the business a little bit. So if they'll do their research and see what the original sounds like, and then see if one of those outlaw legends actually wrote that song, or if someone else wrote it who's just a songwriter, it could get interesting. I know on a lot of my records where I was, locked in to having to do a certain kind of record, and I was fighting hard to get my songs on that record, but they weren't letting my songs on that record, and I had to pick some other people's songs. I made sure I could relate to them and that I knew them. So that's how I got to know Wayne the Train Hancock and got close with him and have so much respect for Wayne's sound. And he's a purist on traditional Texas swing or country music, and that's great. Not everybody is as pure as some people might be in certain genres, but for me, I would make sure that I respected and could relate to the people whose song I was singing. Is the best way to say it. And Wayne was a songwriter and a singer and just a badass. Can I see all the people that played on this record doing it live? Well, when I first got contacted, I thought Maria and Dez were reaching out saying, hey, can you show up on stage and we're gonna do a quick promo. And I'm like, man, I'm supposed to be, if I do anything right now, I need to be going and seeing Dale Watson and Jerry Lee Lewis up in Memphis and paying my respects to the Ameripolitan Awards ceremony, and I'm not even able to leave to go do that within Tennessee, so I sure can't make it out of state to, do a performance with y'all. But then Dez was like, no man, it's just an interview. And I'm like, well, I can at least get that to you, and it shouldn't, that should be no problem. But I know how hard it is just getting a band and a crew together, let alone trying to get 10 bands and 10 crews together all at the same place is an ordeal. But I'm glad that Dez was able to get a lot of the people that he wanted on the project involved. And I'm looking forward to hearing everything that came together on that record. In closing, say something to the viewers and fans to go pick it up. Hey, this is HANK3. Outlaws Till the End is coming out soon. That's Devil Driver's new record, paying respects to a lot of the heroes and legends in the outlaw country music world. I look forward to hearing it. I haven't got to hear it myself, so I'm waiting until the day it comes out to crank it up. Until then.
God, stop that damn tape! Here! I'm sorry,
You know what to do, son? Yeah. 2 rooms. 1 double, 1 single. Hey, and bring me back the damn change and give me a receipt. Here. Let's go. Move it. Today!
Well now, looks like somebody forgot to get a lollipop vanity case. What's that all about? What the hell are you looking at? Get on in there, you fine pretty faggot thing. Woo! That's it, baby! Woo! Take a drink, baby. Be somebody. Take a drink. There you go. I like it. I like it. Here's $1. The boys gonna want to get you something. And I want you to keep it quiet over there. Damn it, I mean it. Get on out of here. On 218 XP for 5. 2. I want you to put every damn thing you got on there, alright? That's it. Everything you got. Yeah, that's room 229. Won't tell motel, baby. I'll tell you what, if it ain't here in 20 minutes, I ain't paying for it. You got that? That's right.
Damn. Buddy boy, I heard some damn racket over there, son. Now, I tell you what, you boys get the damn hell out of that room right now. You go down to the desk clerk and give me a refund and a damn receipt. You boys are sleeping in the show day car tonight. Half right. Damn boys. Yeah! Alright! Thanks, baby. Yeah! Dirty dog with you, baby.